This isn't looking good. 2 innings left, and we're down 4-1. This fucking sucks. But let's get some momentum here. Raise up, bitch. And just like that, it's all over. Everything that this roller coaster of a journey that you guys have been riding with me since spring training this season, it's all led up to this, and it's all over. It's the end of the chapter, and now we have to turn the pages and move on. It certainly isn't easy to deal with an elimination in the playoffs. It never is, no matter what sport it is, no matter what team you love. There's always positives to be taken regardless, and so I wanted to mention a few positives, and one of those is that the Rays made it this far. We opened up the season with the smallest payroll in the MLB. I think it was $55 million. And this team full of nobodies, rookies, they all believed in each other. They had confidence in each other. They were having fun in the locker room. It was really, honestly, this of any of my teams at any given time, this is probably my favorite group of guys I've ever seen. Everybody in the Rays locker room this season, I really did love. And a part of me that hurts is knowing in the back of my mind that it won't be the same team next year. Obviously, the Rays will still be playoff contenders next year, but you're going to lose a few guys. You're bringing in a couple new guys as well. It happens every year. You have to get used to it as a small market fan. And for the Rays to not only make the playoffs with the lowest payroll in the majors, but to make it to round 2, the ALDS, to take the best team currently in baseball to a 5th game, to push them to an elimination game in the playoffs with pitchers that good on their team, with hitters that good on their team, it's remarkable. And in the 21 seasons that the Rays have now played, I would say that this is the second best ever, behind that World Series run in 2008. Obviously, you had that 2011 Rays who had that whole Game 162 chaos, and that was a good group of guys, but they weren't known for anything in that playoff. So I mean, the only thing you have from that season was Game 162 of the regular season. You had the 2013 team who lost in 4 to the Red Sox in the ALDS, and then you had the 2008 team who made the World Series and lost in 5. This year we won 96 games, tied for second most in franchise history. 96 games. You won the wild card in Oakland, and I'll tell you right now, that's a game that I will never forget. Winning the wild card in Oakland, honestly, that was the most fun baseball game I've ever watched. I was in my house, I was with a great group of guys, a great group of friends, and to celebrate all those homers we had, even with the Yandy Diaz leadoff home run, from start to finish, that game was just awesome. And I'll never forget that game. And the Rays, in the first game, the pregame coverage in Game 1 of this ALDS, the commentators were saying how Houston is supposed to easily take down the Rays. In fact, a lot of fans went as far as to say that they would sweep, and they almost did. They got damn close. The Rays lost the first 2 games in Houston, and then they won the next 2 in Tropicana Field. And that's another positive. We didn't lose a playoff game this year in Tropicana Field. And Tropicana Field was packed, both games, full of Rays fans. And right there, it shows the Rays have fans on the other side of the bridge. I'm very grateful that I was able to experience a Troptober game this year. I went to Game 3 of the ALDS, and that atmosphere was electric, and it's something that obviously hasn't happened in over 6 years when the Rays made the ALDS in 2013. And just to be around that many Rays fans in one place, 35,000, it was incredible. It was so fun. Everybody in the crowd was waving their yellow flags. I'm still kind of mad I didn't get one because I got to the game late, but I blame traffic for that. Yeah, but I mean, the Rays, they take Houston to 5 when nobody saw it coming. Because remember, Houston was supposed to easily take us down. They didn't easily take us down at all. They had to fight for it. And in today's game, they wanted it more. It's funny because this shirt right here, the October baseball with the Rays font, the Rays logos at the bottom here. I ordered this 2 days ago, and it came already. However, see, I also got this shirt today in the mail, the postseason Rays shirt, and this is a really cool shirt. I like it a lot. I ordered this before the wild card game. Fanatics shipped this and this shirt at the same time, and even though I bought this one 2 days ago and this one almost 2 weeks ago, it's just funny how it works like that, but it's a pretty cool shirt. I like them. It was worth the money. I also got this hat today, which is pretty cool. It's the postseason patch. So, I've been talking for a while, and let's just get to the summary real fast since this is the recap. So Garrett Cole started for the Astros today, and I woke up with a bad feeling about it just because he was so dominant against the Rays in game 2. So bottom of the first, Tyler Glasnow starting for the Rays allows 4 runs, and that is all it took for the Astros to win, was that 4-run first inning. You know, it's not as bad as the Cardinals scoring 10 on Atlanta in the first inning, but still, 4 runs against Garrett Cole, game's already over. It doesn't matter when it is, because Garrett Cole is nearly unhittable. Top of the first, Austin Meadows strikes out. Austin Meadows had the best offensive year as a Ray. He led the Rays in home runs and RBIs, but he was awful in the playoffs. He didn't contribute anything in the playoffs at all. It was just strikeout after pop-up. He might have had maybe 1 or 2 hits in the entire postseason. He was not a factor in this year's playoffs at all. So Meadows called out on strikes, and Tommy Pham strikes out, and then G-Man Choi walks, and then Travis d'Arnaud lines out. Bottom of the first, George Springer singles, Brantley singles, Altuve singles, Springer scores, 1-0 Astros. Bregman then doubles, 3-0 Astros. Alvarez grounds out. So, finally the first out of the game. And then Gurriel singles, 1 more scores, 4-0 in the 4th inning, and then the next 2 strike out. But it was too little too late. 4 runs is all Houston needed. All Houston needed today was 2 runs to beat the Rays. That's all it took. So in the top of the second would come the highlight of the day for the Rays, and it came on a Eric Sogard solo home run. And this was the only home run that the Rays would have in Minute Maid Park this postseason. Before I continue, I think I wanted to say I really think it was over for the Rays in game 2, because if you remember, we were down, I think it was 2 runs to start the 9th inning. We started the 9th inning with the bases loaded and 0 outs. We scored 1 run. If the Rays would have been clutch and they could have drove in more than 1 run, then we would have won the series in Tropicana Field in 4. And so the fact that you didn't win that game, you only scored 1 run with the bases loaded, 0 outs. There's no excuses. You can't have that happen in the postseason. And so really, I think that was where the Rays lost themselves in the series. Garcia grounds out, Wendell strikes out, Kiermaier strikes out. Bottom second, Maldonado pops out, Springer strikes out, Brantley pops out. Top of the third, Adames grounds out, Meadows flies out, Pham flies out. So just absolutely nothing for the Rays at all today. Altuve pops out, Bregman grounds out, Blake Snell then relieves, Tyler Glasnow, and then Alvarez flies out. G-Man Choi singles, d'Arnaud strikes out, Sogard strikes out, Garcia grounds out. Gurriel flies out, Correa flies out, Reddick strikes out. Wendell grounds out, Kiermaier grounds out, Adames strikes out. So just nothing from the offenses today at all. Chaz Rowe then comes in for Blake Snell. Maldonado pops out, Springer grounds out. Then Ryan Yarbrough would replace Chaz Rowe, and then Brantley walks. Then Nick Anderson came in for Yarbrough, and then Altuve flies out. Meadows lines out, Pham grounds out, Choi strikes out. There's just absolutely nothing going for the Rays at all. Bregman strikes out, Alvarez strikes out, Gurriel lines out. Top of the 7th, d'Arnaud walks. Sogard flies out. And then really this is where I had optimism the whole game leading up until this moment right here. This moment, because d'Arnaud had the leadoff walk to start the inning. And then Garcia would then ground into a double play to end the inning, and that's where I lost confidence and started to realize, yeah, this game's over. Diego Castillo came in for Nick Anderson. Correa strikes out. Reddick singles. Colin Poche then replaces Castillo. Tucker strikes out. Pagan replaces Poche. Springer strikes out. And then Pagan was easily the worst guy in the bullpen for the Rays this playoffs. He just didn't have his stuff. Wendell strikes out, Kiermaier strikes out, Adames grounds out. And bottom of the 8th, Brantley homers, solo home run, and then Pagan would then give up a back-to-back homer by Altuve, and before you know it, the game just slips away from you, and it's 6-1 Houston. Bregman flies out, Alvarez walks, and then they replace Pagan with Brendan McKay, and then Correa strikes out. Top of the 9th inning, Meadows flies out, Pham flies out, Choi strikes out, and that's it. And the season, before your very eyes, just collapses, and it's over. 168 games just crashes out of the sky in front of your own eyes, and it's the worst thing in the world as a sports fan. This series doesn't make me dislike the Astros just because they're a powerhouse team. They have been all season. And I guess my message to the Astros is beat the living shit out of the Yankees, because I can't stand those guys. So just do me a favor, beat the shit out of the Yankees. And if you're asking me who I'm rooting for the remainder of the postseason, the answer is easily St. Louis. You guys know me, I'm a Chiefs fan. Missouri sports always have a special place in my heart, just because my family's all from there. And so, like, I hope St. Louis ends up winning it all. And I really wanted to take the moment to shout out all of my great friends, the ones who either went to a baseball game with me this year or came to my house for my watch parties. Nick, Jackson, other Jackson, James, Ethan, Tyler, Colin, Molly, Tyler, Kaylee, Casey, Christina, Andreas, the Astros fan, Eric, Carson, Kyle, and Ian. I think that's everybody. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but it's all I can think of. You guys really made this season fun to watch with me, and I really do appreciate you guys by my side. So I guess this ends a chapter in this channel, and we move forward starting now. And incredible season by Tampa Bay, more playoff wins than the Lightning, and now I gotta focus on football and hockey. And I wish I had a couple more weeks of October baseball. I guess with that being said, raise up forever, no matter what, and I will see you next season. Hate saying it, but I will see you next season. Throughout this entire season, I recorded the 7th inning stretch at baseball games I went to, and I put together this video as a tribute to the 2019 MLB season, so hope you enjoy. Yeah.